is nothing but a device that is capable of converting your DC signal into an AC signal. So these DC signals are not the input, but it is just the biasing signal. DC signal is just the biasing signals which we provide for any amplifier or for any of the device to act it as an amplifier. For example, a transistor, when we have to make it as an amplifier, we want its the forward junction to be forward biased and its other junction or the output junction to be the reverse biased, right? So this is the condition or which is done by this DC signals or by the biasing signals. So this DC signal is provided and in the output we obtain an AC signal. In some of the cases, I will say it could be sinusoidal or it could be non-sinusoidal, right? Depending upon the type of the oscillator we are discussing. And we have already stated that here V in should be equal to 0. And in the last class, I have also told you about this AF over here is nothing but equal to A upon 1 minus A of beta, where A is the gain of this amplifier, beta is the gain of this feedback circuit. Now this AF is nothing but the V output upon V input, because I am considering here this block, this complete block, where the complete block gain is equal to AF. It means definitely the AF will be equal to the output upon input. Output is V out and the input is V in. So you can see here that V out by V in is equal to A upon 1 minus A beta. Now as I'm saying that my V in should be equal to 0, it means definitely if I substitute in on the left hand side V out by V in this, if I substitute V in equal to 0, definitely it will be infinity equal to A upon 1 minus A beta. And this will be only possible when my 1 minus A beta is equal to 0, or simply you can say that the magnitude of A beta must be equal to 1. So this was the first criteria of the Barkhausen and called as the Barkhausen criteria. Second one was the angle or the phase of this system, combined system, that is A beta, that is A in the forward and beta in the feedback, it must be equal to 0 degree. So these were the two criteria that we have discussed in the last class regarding the oscillators. Now today I want to discuss a type of an oscillator that is called as RC phase shift oscillator. These RC phase shift oscillators are used for the generation of your audio frequency that is in the range of 20 Hz to 20 kilohertz. So these RC phase shift oscillators are used to generate the frequency from 20 Hz to 20 kilohertz, or to be more precise, it is around 10 kilohertz, not 20 kilohertz, right? So how we do this? Now, for any of the circuit to act as an oscillator, what are the two conditions? That is, magnitude of A into beta should be equal to 1 and the phase shift by the combined circuit must be equal to 0. Now, as I said that I'm going to use here an RC, it means as the name is RC phase shift oscillator, so I'm going to make use of an RC circuit over here. Now let's first understand this RC circuit. Now if you look at this diagram, in this I have drawn here R and C circuit, where input is applied at these two ends and the output is taken across the resistor R. So if I want the transfer function of it, what will be the transfer function of it? Transfer function is nothing but the output upon input. Over here the output is V naught, or you can write it as equal to VR, because it is the voltage across the resistor R divided by the Vi. What is Vi? Is the input that is applied at these two terminals, let it be XX dash. So any circuit or in any way in any of the circuit you can write the output upon input, and that is termed as the transfer function. Now if I have to find the transfer function of this, how I will find it? You can simply apply the KVL in this path. If I assume the current to be I, then can I say that my total voltage V in must be equal to the drop across this capacitor and the drop across this resistor. What is the drop across this capacitor? It will be the current into the reactance of this capacitor, and the reactance is, what is the reactance of this capacitor? It is minus J of XC, and the current is I, plus, sorry, not plus, minus again, because it is a drop across the resistor also there will be drop, it is simply R into I, right? So from here I can find the value of I, that is equal to Vi divided by, or I will write here minus of Vi divided by R plus J of XC. sorry, it should be plus over here because I have already taken it on the right hand side. So I will write here, it is now Vi divided by R, it is plus, so Vi divided by R minus J of Xc. So this will be the value of the current. Now if I have to find the value of V naught or simply Vr, I can write here Vr will be equal to V naught, which is equal to I into R, which is equal to, what is the value of I? We have already obtained it. So I will write here R upon R minus J of Xc into Vi. So this is the value of V naught. So if I want the value of V naught by Vi, can I derive from here? Definitely. I can write here V naught divided by Vi. It will be equal to R upon R minus J of Xc. So this will be the transfer function of this simple RC circuit, this one. Right? So let me drag these two down. Now, so the transfer function of this circuit is, we have obtained it equal to R upon R minus J of Xc. Now why I want this transfer function, this is important because we have two criterias over here, that is the two Bark-Hussein criterias, that is the gain of the combined circuit A beta must be equal to 1 and the phase must be equal to 0 degree. Now when I have obtained the transfer function of this RC network, I can find the value of my gain for this circuit, RC circuit, and the phase. Now if I have to find the gain, what I will do, I will take the magnitude of this transfer function. So this transfer function magnitude will be equal to R divided by magnitude of this will be under root of R square plus Xc square. So this will be the transfer function of it in terms of the magnitude. And if I want to obtain the phase, then I will write here phase will be equal to, phase is nothing but tangent inverse of imaginary part upon real part. In the numerator, the imaginary part is 0. So can I write here, or if I write here tangent inverse of real, imaginary part is 0 and the real part is R in the numerator, divided by, in the denominator, if I look here, it is R minus JXC, this one. So can I write here, it is tangent inverse of, what is the imaginary part? It is minus of XC divided by R. So this tangent inverse of 0 will be nothing but 0 degree divided by tangent inverse of minus XC by R can be written as minus tangent inverse of XC by R. Now when I will take this denominator to the numerator, it will be equal to minus of minus tangent inverse of Xc by R, and it will come out to be equal to tangent inverse of Xc by R, or you can write it as tangent inverse of Xc can be written as 1 by omega C into. So this will be the phase that will be provided by an RC network. Now, if you have gone through the earlier videos, where I have already told you that the AC source across a pure capacitor, if I had a pure capacitor over here across a source, means only a capacitor was there across an AC source, then the phase difference between the voltage and the current to this capacitor will be equal to 90 degree. Or you can say there that the current leads voltage by 90 degree. Kindly go to the video of the AC source across a capacitor. From there you will get the detailed knowledge that how we obtain the phase difference equal to 90 degree. But when we have a RC network, means you are going to, or if I say only a resistive network is there, I'm giving you a brief idea now. If I have only a resistive network, then there is no phase difference between the voltage and the current across this resistor, means the phase difference is 0 degree, right? So in the phasor diagram, I will write here, if it is VR, then definitely this will be the current I, right? But in this scenario where we are having, just let me drag them further down. But in this case, we are having an RC network. Look here, we are having a capacitor and a resistor, which is in series with an input voltage. This input voltage over here दिस इनपुट वोल्टेज इज नथिंग बट एन AC सिग्नल। ये एक AC सिग्नल हमारा यहाँ पे लगा हुआ है। वो AC सिग्नल कहाँ से आ रहा है, आई विल टेल यू लेटर। अभी के लिए सर्किट के लिए मान लें कि यहाँ पे मेरे पास AC सिग्नल है जो कि एक रजिस्टर और एक कैपेसिटर के अक्रॉस जो है लगा हुआ है। इट मीन्स अगर मेरे पास सिर्फ और सिर्फ कैपेसिटर होता है एक AC सिग्नल के, तब फेज डिफरेंस आता 90 डिग्री का, और अगर सिर्फ रजिस्टर होता तो फेज डिफरेंस आता 0 डिग्री का। इट मीन्स अगर मेरे पास अब इस केस में एक कैपेसिटर और एक रजिस्टर अगर एक AC सोर्स के साथ लगा हुआ है, तो उस केस में मेरे पास जो फेज डिफरेंस आएगा दैट विल डिपेंड अपॉन द वैल्यूज ऑफ R एंड C, because in this case the phase difference is, as I have already obtained it through the transfer function, it is tangent inverse of 1 by omega CR. So it means depending upon the value of C and R, I will get different phase difference. And if the value of the C is 0, अगर C की वैल्यू 0 हो जाती है, then it will be pure resistive. अगर आप यहाँ पे 0 पुट कर देंगे तो it will be, I will write here at C equal to 0, that is pure resistive. C की वैल्यू 0 होगी तो प्योर रेजिस्टिव नेटवर्क आ गया आपका इक्वल टू 0, अदरवाइज यहाँ पे XC इक्वल टू 0. इट मीन्स द रिएक्टेंस प्रोवाइडेड बाय दिस सर्किट इज 0. इट मीन्स इट विल बी नाउ शॉर्ट सर्किटेड, ये शॉर्ट हो जाएगा, राइट. सो एट XC इक्वल टू 0 आई विल से that my tangent inverse, angle tangent inverse of 1 by, it can be written as XC by R. So XC will be 0, that it means angle tangent inverse of 0. So you know that tangent of 0 is at 0 degree. So you will find at a pure resistive network your phase shift is equal to 0 degree, which is shown over here in this phasor diagram. Now in the second case where your resistance is equal to 0, at R equal to 0, at R equal to 0, what is going to happen? Now this resistor will be shorted and this capacitor will be open circuited. Sorry, not circuited, but will be connected to this capacitance C. So at this point your phase difference will be tangent inverse of XC by R, where R is equal to 0, so it will be angle tangent inverse of infinity, and this is nothing but equal to 90 degrees. So this will correspond to your pure capacitive circuit. I will write here pure capacitive circuit. It means with the different values of your capacitance and the reactance, your capacitance and the resistance, your reactance values and the resistance values will be different, and you can obtain the angle equal to 0 degree or 90 degree. But when we have both, we have XC also and R also, in that case your angle will be between 0 and 90 degree. So it means with the help of this RC network, we can have our phasor. I will tell you our phasor will be like this. It means if this is my VR, the current is same because it is connected in series. C and R is connected in series, means the current will be same in both the cases for the voltage across the capacitor and the voltage across the resistance. So VR is at the same angle as that of I because their phase difference is 90, but the capacitance current is leading the voltage. Whenever it is leading, so it will be like this. It is, I will write here VC, right? So this VC, if you see, is lagging the current I, whereas I, in the other way I can say this I is leading the voltage VC. It means in the capacitor the current is leading by an angle of 90 degree, right? But now when we have both VC is also there and VR is also there, then definitely to find the output we need to find the resultant of these two. So how we find the resultant? You all know resultant के लिए हम क्या करेंगे, एक पैरेललोग्राम बना लेंगे. I guess you all have studied these vectors. So vectors में भी हम ऐसे ही करते थे, एक पैरेललोग्राम बनाते हैं और जो सेंटर है उसको पैरेललोग्राम के सेंटर के साथ ज्वाइन कर देते हैं. So now in this case where R and C are both present, I will get a phase difference which is between 0 degree and 90 degree, and this angle is, maybe I will assume it equal to be theta, and this will be my resultant voltage V. So it means whenever we have an RC network, we can obtain an angle between 0 and 90 degree, but never equal to 0 degree or 90 degree, because 0 कब होगा जब प्योर कैपेसिटिव होगा, और 0 कब होगा जब प्योर रेजिस्टिव होगा, और 90 कब होगा जब प्योर कैपेसिटिव होगा. तो वो केस हो नहीं सकता. वो एक्सट्रीम केसेस हैं जब R 0 हो जाए या आप XC 0 हो जाए, वो हम कंसीडर नहीं करेंगे. इट मीन्स योर एंगल थीटा विल बी लेस देन 90 डिग्री and greater than 0 degree in the case of RC network. Is this point clear to you? यहाँ पे किसी को डाउट यहाँ तक? समझ में आ गया सभी को? देखिए एंगल के लिए फॉर्मूला कैसे निकालता, एंगल जब भी हम फाइंड आउट करते हैं, इट्स सिंपल फॉर्मूला इज, एंगल फॉर्मूला इज टेंजेंट इनवर्स ऑफ imaginary term upon real term. You all know what is imaginary term and the real term. Now if I look at my transfer function, I have obtained my transfer function over here is equal to t f equal to r upon r minus jxc. Now न्यूमिनेटर का अलग से आप एंगल फाइंड आउट करें, डिनोमिनेटर का अलग से फाइंड आउट करें. जब मैं न्यूमिनेटर का फाइंड आउट करूंगा तो न्यूमिनेटर में सिर्फ और सिर्फ कौन सी टर्म है, रियल टर्म है, और डिनोमिनेटर में कौन सी टर्म्स हैं, रियल भी है एंड इमेजिनरी भी है. इट मीन जब मैं न्यूमिनेटर का फाइंड आउट करूंगा तो न्यूमिनेटर के केस में मेरे पास इमेजिनरी टर्म क्या होगी, जीरो. तो अगर मैं यहाँ पे फॉर्मूला देखूं सो इट विल बी टेंजेंट इनवर्स ऑफ जीरो बाय आर, मीन्स इमेजिनरी टर्म इज जीरो वेर एज रियल टर्म इज आर. सो इट विल बी इक्वल टू जीरो, टेंजेंट इनवर्स ऑफ जीरो इन द न्यूमिनेटर एंड इट इज इक्वल टू 0 डिग्री. इज इट क्लियर? न्यूमिनेटर वाला क्लियर हो गया. If I go to the denominator, yes, if I go to the denominator, in the denominator we have tangent inverse. Again, that formula is imaginary term upon real term. Imaginary term over here is, I will not consider j, it is only minus xc. So it is minus xc, real term is again r over here, so it is divided by r. So I have just taken this minus outside. You all know all sin tan cos. This सभी को पता होगा, ऐसे पढ़ा होगा आपने, ऑल साइन टेन कॉस. इट मीन्स जो आपके पास माइनस एक्सी बाय आर है, इसको आप माइनस ऑफ टेंजेंट इनवर्स ऑफ एक्सी बाय आर लिख सकते हैं, क्योंकि माइनस एक्सी बाय आर किस क्वाड्रेंट में आया, इमेजिनरी टर्म आपकी माइनस है और रियल टर्म आपकी पॉजिटिव है. इमेजिनरी टर्म देखिए यहाँ पे ये वाली माइनस वाली टर्म होती है, इट इज नेगेटिव इमेजिनरी एंड दिस इज पॉजिटिव रियल टर्म. सो मेरा जो एंगल होगा वो इस क्वाड्रेंट में लाई करेगा, और इस क्वाड्रेंट में जो है वो tan पॉजिटिव नहीं होता है. इट मीन्स आई विल राइट हियर माइनस टेंजेंट इनवर्स ऑफ एक्सी बाय आर. और जब डिनोमिनेटर वाले फेज को मैं न्यूमिनेटर में लेके जाऊंगा, इट विल बी अगेन मल्टीप्लाइड विद माइनस, सो यू विल फाइंड हियर वन मोर माइनस, और यू कैन राइट हियर एज 0 डिग्री ऑफ न्यूमिनेटर minus of phase by the denominator. So it is minus tangent inverse of xc by r, which came out to be equal to minus minus cancel out. Okay, it is tangent inverse of xc by r. Or in the other form, you can write xc as 1 by omega c. Right? So this is how we have obtained the phase. Is it clear to you कि हमने phase क्यों find out किया? Phase सबसे ज़्यादा important है, because what we have to do, we have to maintain the second criteria of Bar-Coushain, that is angle should be equal to 0 degree. अब आरसी फेज शिफ्ट ऑसिलेटर को मैं एक्सप्लेन करने जा रहा हूं, अगर आपको आरसी नेटवर्क क्लियर है. What we had said in the case of oscillator, I am coming back again to that topic, oscillators. In the oscillator, I said we have an amplifier with gain A and a feedback network with a gain beta, and whatever the output is there, that will be the input of this feedback network. It means V out will be applied over here. And if I say that there is no input, then definitely no external input, then definitely this V in will be equal to 0, or whatever the input that I will obtain after this block beta or after this feedback circuit, if I call it as VF, then that will be sent into the amplifier, and this process will be continued and so on. Right? So if I see here in this network, here is one amplifier. This amplification is done by the transistor. And in the case of RC phase shift oscillator, this amplification is done by common emitter transistor. Now you all know what I mean by common emitter. It means I am going to use my transistor but in the common emitter configuration. Why I am going to use the common emitter configuration? I have told you there that in the common emitter we have here a phase shift of 180 degree, and it has a high current gain. Its value of current gain is beta, which is very high. So it is beta is nothing but equal to IC upon IB. So this value is around 100 के आसपास रहती थी, तो करंट गेन इसका बहुत ज़्यादा होता है. तो वी यूज हेयर कॉमन एमिटर कॉन्फ़िगरेशन. इन द कॉमन एमिटर कॉन्फ़िगरेशन वी हैव अ फेज शिफ्ट ऑफ 180 डिग्री. It means when my input is being fed over here, this transistor will provide me a phase shift of 180 degree. Right? This point is clear. Now second part is this beta network or the feedback network. This feedback network has now the responsibility to maintain the phase or overall phase equal to 360 degree. As this transistor is providing us a phase of 180 degree, then definitely this beta has also to provide a phase difference of 180 degree, so that total phase will come out to be equal to 360 degree or simply the 0 degree. ये कंडीशन हमारी सेटिस्फाई होनी चाहिए। तो इस कंडीशन को सेटिस्फाई करने के लिए हमें बीटा को सर्किट को इस तरह से बनाना पड़ेगा कि उससे जब सिग्नल पास करे तो उसको फेज शिफ्ट कितना मिले, 180 डिग्री का। स्टार्टिंग में जो एम्पलीफिकेशन का काम है वो तो ट्रांजिस्टर कर रहा है, वो काम हो गया, लेकिन जो फेज मेंटेन करने का काम कर रहा है वो कौन कर रहा है, आपका फीडबैक नेटवर्क कर रहा है। नाउ गेन को आप मेंटेन कर सकते हैं, दोनों के गेन जो है ए और बीटा का गेन आप इक्वल टू 1 कर सकते हैं, दैट इज नॉट अ बिग टास्क। तो ओनली टास्क ऑफ रेयर इज टू मेंटेन द फेज इक्वल टू 0 डिग्री और सिंपली द 360 डिग्री। सो नाउ हाउ वी आर गोइंग टू डू इट इन द केस ऑफ आरसी फेज शिफ्ट ऑसिलेटर, द फीडबैक नेटवर्क is consisting of the RC network or the RC combinations. Now we have seen this single RC can provide us a phase shift between 0 to 90 degree. It means to have the phase shift of around 180 degree. अगर मुझे 180 डिग्री का एग्जैक्ट फेज शिफ्ट चाहिए तो मुझे कितने आरसी नेटवर्क कनेक्ट करने पड़ेंगे। एक आरसी नेटवर्क मुझे 90 डिग्री से कम दे रहा है, मुझे नहीं पता कितना दे रहा है, वो मैं बना सकता हूँ। जीरो से ऊपर भी रख सकता हूँ उसको 1 डिग्री पे, और 90 से कम भी रख सकता हूँ 89.99 तक, वो मैं अपने आप रख सकता हूँ। लेकिन 180 डिग्री अचीव करने के लिए मुझे कितने आरसी नेटवर्क चाहिए होंगे। अब हाउ मेनी आरसी नेटवर्क्स विल बी रिक्वायर्ड फॉर अ फेज शिफ्ट ऑफ 180 डिग्री। बिल्कुल वही पूछ रहा हूं मैं, 3 4 6 कितने हम कर सकते हैं यूज, मिनिमम कितने कर सकते हैं। चलिए मिनिमम से स्टार्ट करते हैं। क्या मैं 2 आरसी नेटवर्क कनेक्ट कर दूंगा तो मुझे 180 डिग्री का फेज शिफ्ट मिल जाएगा? नहीं मिलेगा। क्यों नहीं मिलेगा? क्योंकि मैंने कहा 90 होगा अगर एक का फेज शिफ्ट, तब 2 से कर सकता था मैं 180, लेकिन 90 तो मैं अचीव नहीं कर सकता, 90 से थोड़ा सा कम कर सकता हूँ। मीन जो मेरी मैक्सिमम लिमिट थी वो 90 से कम है। इट मीन्स मिनिमम नंबर कितने होंगे 180 डिग्री फेज शिफ्ट अचीव करने के लिए? 3 आरसी नेटवर्क्स, 3 आरसी मुझे कनेक्ट करने पड़ेंगे। और डेफिनेटली जब मैं 3 आरसी कनेक्ट करूंगा तो एक आरसी को कितना फेज शिफ्ट देना पड़ेगा, that is equal to 180 degree by 3, that is equal to 60 degree. Now I will choose the values of R and C in such a way that my phase shift will be equal to 60 degree. और simply अगर मैं फॉर्मूला देखूँ अपना tangent inverse of 1 by omega C R, so can I say कि अब मैं C और R की वैल्यू ऐसी सेट कर दूंगा कि ये जो वैल्यू है मेरी टोटल, that will come out to be around equal to 60 degree. Is it clear? So now next I'm going to discuss about the feedback network, which this is my feedback network, which is combination of 3 RC components, RC network. Look here, this is one C, this is one R, this is second C, this is second R, this is third C, this is third R, and here I have assumed that C1 is equal to C2 is equal to C3 equal to C. All the capacitances are of same value, and similarly all the resistance is R1 is equal to R2 is equal to R3 is equal to R. If you see here, this is V1, this is VE. VE is nothing but the voltage that I have taken at the output of the transistor, and this V1 is that is fed back into the input. So if I look at my diagram, look at this diagram. In this I have shown here with the 2 dotted sections. First section is my basic amplifier. So I guess you all have studied about the biasings of the transistor. जो वीडियो मैंने आपको दिया था उसमें बाइसिंग्स के बारे में मैंने डिटेल में बताया हुआ है. सो यू कैन से हियर दैट दिस टाइप ऑफ बाइसिंग इज इन दिस सर्किट, इन दिस बेसिक एम्पलीफायर सर्किट इज द voltage divider bias, because we are dividing the voltage here across the resistor R1 and R2. So kindly go to that video before studying it in deep. आप उस वीडियो को एक बार जरूर पढ़ लें एक बार. Then this is my transistor which is connected in the common emitter configuration. You can see here this arrow is connected to the emitter. This is base and this is collector. So this is common emitter configuration. This RE and CE are connected for the bypass. This C is the bypass capacitor, and the RE is the emitter resistance. This RC is the resistance that is connected at the collector to get the output. Output किसके अक्रॉस मिल रही है? RC के अक्रॉस मिल रही है हमें यहाँ पे. तो RC जो है हमारे पास एक तरह से लोड रेजिस्टेंस भी एक्ट करता है. Now if you look here that this is the output of my amplifier. इतना सेक्शन हमारा एम्पलीफायर का, इट मीन यहाँ पर आउटपुट मिल गया एम्पलीफायर की, एंड दिस सर्किट, दिस बेसिक एम्पलीफायर सर्किट हैड प्रोवाइडेड अस अ फेज डिफरेंस ऑफ 180 डिग्री बिकॉज इट इज कनेक्टेड इन द कॉमन एमिटर configuration. Now look at this second part. This is my feedback network. This output is sent to this, fed to this RC networks. 3 RC networks are used, where each RC network is giving us a phase difference of 60 degree. This is also giving us a phase difference of 60. This RC is also giving us a phase difference 60. So total phase difference of this feedback network will be 180. So this feedback network will give us a total phase shift of 180. And this output over here, you can see this output is fed back into the input of this transistor or at the base of this transistor. So you can see here this is B1. Now in earlier I said that all the capacities are of same value C and all the resistances are of same value R, but here I'm going to tell you that I will have my third resistance slightly different over here, R dash. Why it is R dash? Because when it is connected to the input of this transistor, if you see here, as this R dash is connected with the input of the transistor or the base of this transistor, the input resistance of this transistor is also going to affect, which is called as HIE. आपने पढ़े नहीं है, मैं थोड़ा सा आइडिया दे देता हूँ. HIE, that is the input impedance of the ट्रांजिस्टर इन द कॉमन एमिटर कॉन्फ़िगरेशन. तो ये दोनों की वैल्यूज R डैश और HIE की वैल्यू सीरीज में कनेक्टेड है. जब आप ऐड करेंगे दैट विल कम आउट टू बी इक्वल टू R. So the overall resistance in the 3 branches will become equal to R. Is it clear? So this circuit is my RC phase shift circuit, where the phase shift is maintained by the RC. Now this RC, 3 RCs I have used. It is all clear कि 2 करता तो नहीं हो पाता, क्योंकि मैक्सिमम लिमिट ही हमारी 90 से थोड़ी सी कम थी, तो नहीं फिजिबल नहीं था. Amplification section is done by this. Now the frequency at which it is going to resonate, there is a big derivation where I have to use the equivalent models. जो इतना डीप में मैं नहीं जाऊंगा. पहले इक्विवेलेंट ट्रांजिस्टर को मुझे इक्विवेलेंट मॉडल्स में कन्वर्ट करना पड़ेगा. देन आई हैव टू कंसीडर HIE, HFE, HRE एंड HOE, सब कुछ उनकी assumptions लेनी पड़ेगी. वो बहुत डिफिकल्ट हो जाएगा. सो आई विल डायरेक्टली गिव यू द फॉर्मूला जितना का आपके सिलेबस में है. दैट इज F0 इज इक्वल टू 1/2 पाई RC, sorry, 1/2 पाई RC under root 6. So this will be the formula of my RC phase shift oscillator, right? So in this you will find various numericals, and the condition over here is, as I have told you, that C1, इसमें condition है, C1 is equal to C2 is equal to C3 is equal to C, and R1 is equal to R2 is equal to R3 equal to R. इसको R भी आप मान लेंगे तब भी कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा, बहुत ज़्यादा चेंज नहीं आएगा. अभी के लिए मान लेते हैं इसको कि हम R ही बोलते हैं, right? So this is the complete you can say the explanation of this RC phase shift oscillator, where the output is taken across this collector and the base of this transistor over here. At this I will take the output of this amplifier, and which is fed into the RC network, right? Any doubts related to it? Okay, we will do a numerical on it now, on this frequency, that what kind of numericals you will have. So I will write the question over here. It's a numerical problem. That in the phase shift oscillator, as we have discussed above, the R1 is equal to R2 is equal to R3 is equal to 1 mega ohm. R1 is equal to R2 is equal to R3 is equal to 1 mega ohm. And C1 is equal to C2 is equal to C3 is equal to 68 picofarad. Then we have to find that at what frequency this RC phase shift oscillator will oscillate. So we need to find the frequency F0. So the formula over here is, directly we can say F0 is equal to 1/2 pi RC under root and 6. So simply substitute the value of R and C. It is equal to, R is 1 mega ohm, C is 68 picofarad. So I will substitute them. 1/2 pi R is 10 raised to power 6, C is 68. What is pico? It is 10 raised to power minus 12 and under root of 6. And when you will solve it, it will come out to be around 954 hertz. So these are the basic numericals you will find, or in the other numerical you may have given this F0 value, and they may ask you to find the value of R and C, right? And in very extreme cases, they will not give you both the values of R and C, and they will ask you to find the value of F naught. So in that case, how we will find it, I will tell you. For example, if they give you the value of F naught equal to, let it be 800 kilohertz. This is the F naught, and they will ask you to find the value of R and C. So in that scenario, as two are not known to us, it is not feasible with the single formula to find these things. So what we do, we assume the value of the capacitance C is equal to 10 picofarad. So you can assume this value of 10 picofarad. Then with the help of this formula, that is F naught is equal to 1 by 2 pi, F naught is equal to 1 by 2 pi, just 2 pi RC root 6. With the help of this, substitute the value of F naught and C, and you can find the value of R. Is it clear now? Any doubts related to the RC phase shift oscillator? Right. So this is all about today's lecture. In the next class, we will discuss about the Wien-Bridge oscillator and the Hartley and the Colpitts oscillator. So I will end my session here.